Hi, I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and this is No BS Coaching Advice. I like to meet on blab.im at midday, Monday through Friday. Now, there's some days I don't make it because something's gotten in the way, but most days I'm on blab.im doing online job search or business coaching. And I like to spend at least 15 minutes. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, helping people play their game big, huge. And the notion that I have is folks need help. And they're trying to force their way and do things that seem hard when it could be a lot easier. So I want to offer some coaching here. I obviously do one-on-one and group coaching as well. But the notion is with support, with direction, with encouragement, then we have an opportunity to move forward. So I'm here today to do some free coaching for you. Now, I want to preface this by saying, most of us have a template that's been created for us that things have to be hard. After all, if I say job, what words do you have associated with that term? No one, or next to no one, says fun. I love my job. Well, some people do. I happen to like what I do, but most people don't. They feel a lot of pressure at work. There are demands placed upon them. It's hard. It's difficult. It's painful. It isn't any fun. Same with job search. Same things. Hard, difficult, painful. Takes so long. And that's the kind of overlay that we have on much of our professional lives and on affecting personal change. It's not going to be an easy proposition, and I'm going to struggle and fail. Failure being the operative word for work. We're trying to avoid failure. We're trying to avoid situations where it looked like we screwed up. We thus don't play big because the stretch and play big means risking failure. So most of us are encouraged by the systems at work to play small. Think about it for a second. Ever walk into a meeting, or have you walked into a meeting recently thinking that you're the outlier of thought in the room? Most people are kind of homogenized into behavior and how they think. And that bodes poorly for the organization, but more importantly, it bodes poorly for the individual because you've stopped being a creative force. You've stopped really giving your best to an organization. And worse than that for your life, you've stopped dreaming. Your joy, your passion, your fulfillment are gone. Beaten out of you through systems that you've been ingrained to behave in from the time that you were a little boy or girl, attending your first nursery school class, and told to sit at the desk, be quiet, regurgitate what we tell you to, don't squirm, or else. Until we get to the workforce where we're told to do much the same thing. And if we aren't told it in that many words, we certainly get the message. And the result is we're miserable. What a surprise. I was at a class last night, and a question was posed that was kind of paradoxical. Now, I'll preface this by saying, in the model of coaching I work with, we work with the notion of games and fun and having a good time in the situation, rather than struggling. I hope I don't mispronounce your name. Again, Mallory, welcome. Great to have you here. Hope you enjoy. For some reason, I don't have the chat roll along the side. I'll see if I can figure that out. If not, I apologize. But I'll just say that most people are ingrained not to play big. So the model of coaching that I work with is one where we talk about a game, not to necessarily diminish the challenge that's faced, but to kind of gamify it, because when we play games, it's more fun, right? When we do work, there's the overlay that it's going to be hard, boring, difficult, miserable. all sorts of ridiculous things get overlaid on top of it, with the result being we don't enjoy it. So here, let's pose this paradox. If you can't lose the game, the game is not worth playing. And when you really play, you always win. Let's deconstruct the message here. If you can't lose, the game is not worth playing. In other words, if you're going to be mediocre, if you're going to play small ball, if you're going to be in a situation where you can't go all out, what's the point? You're just another cog in the machine. Eric, welcome. Instead, the encouragement is when you really play, you always win. What's meant by that? We're going to define winning as engaging. When you engage with this situation, where you go all out, where you risk everything, there are things that you learn. There are opportunities that you get as a result of playing big that you don't get when you play safe. Now, I'm not certainly suggesting you risk your life or limb, but when you're trying to make change and play a game, think of it. Think of pro athletes. If it's just going to be an ordinary event, it's kind of boring for them. But when they go all out for a championship, it's completely different. You watched the Super Bowl. There was a team that risked everything, and there's one that tried real hard but came up short. The one that risked everything won. They played so hard. And these were old guys, old certainly by football standards. And they risked everything because they had learned the lesson from 2 years before when they got the crap beaten out of them by Seattle, that you can't just play to lose, you have to play to win. And that's what they did Sunday. So when you're really playing, when you really play, you always win. Why? Because you change through this experience. You learn from it. You grow. You have opportunities to stretch yourself and become more than where you started. And even if you don't get the desired outcome, there's going to be something else that you're going to pick up in the process that you can apply to other situations. So, for example, I'm working on a new website now for a new business venture I'm going to launch. Is it going to work? I don't know. I think it will. But at the end of the day, even if it doesn't, I've learned a lot from the process that will help me in many different ways. Same is true of you too. When you engage, when you immerse yourself in a new idea, there are things that you pick up along the way. Now, there are challenges that you face. There are risks that you face. And sometimes those risks feel overwhelming. So I'm going to pose a scenario for you. And this is a model that you can use going forward. What's at risk for you to do such and such? No, really, what's at risk for you to do such and such? Whatever it is, what's at risk for you to do it? Well, there is no risk might be your answer. Well, if there was no risk, you would have already done it, right? But unfortunately, people are paralyzed by their fear when they face these risks and wind up choosing to avoid the possibility of losing. Don't do that. Don't do it. A game that's worth playing has to be one where you risk losing. Seriously, a game worth playing is one where you could possibly lose. There's a huge challenge there that you confront. There's an opportunity for you to learn and grow and develop as a result of the game. Take it. Face the challenge. Practice. Learn. Grow. Make mistakes. Put in great effort. Develop your skills, and ultimately you'll achieve mastery. I've done job search for more than 40 years, and I'm considered a master. I want to help you master your career and play big, whether it's about job hunting or being successful in your solo business, your small business, or being best in your career. reach out to me through my website, which is nobscoachingadvice.com. While you're there, you can get some encouragement. Yes, that's the name of my blog, encouragement. And you'll pick up a lot more from me over there. So again, nobscoachingadvice.com. And if you'd like to be coached by me, you'll find out more about it there.